Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Gopalakrishnan Deshpandey Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship aims to strengthen the ecosystem for innovation. Let's get to know more about it.
So whenever we look at very deep research happening in the laboratories of, let's say, either academia or research institutions like the CSR lab, what is the intent of that? The faculty would like to publish papers, the student would like to get a job based on that. The faculty, once the research is done and the paper is published, would like to move on to the next problem solving, because that gives them more academic credits. So there is no motivation or incentive for them to go and see where does this research lead to and what problem it can solve. It is up to the either entrepreneurs outside or industries outside to take it and move it to that paradigm. So the question is, can we change that paradigm? And that's kind of where the Gopalakrishnan Deshpandey Center, or GDC as we call it, comes into picture. We will try to create mindsets change in faculty. We also want to create mindset change in the students or what we call as the entrepreneurs. We want to do it in such a way that they understand that anything that they try to develop, if they want to see it used in the industry or used in the social circles, it needs to satisfy certain what we call a customer requirements. For instance, if I am to buy something, you may try to sell me something, and if I have to buy it, I must like it. I must be willing to pay for it. And it should solve something and I should solve something that is hurting me, or what's called a pain point. It solves a pain point for me. These are very important points. So in order to do that, the mindset has to change. The faculty have to think differently, the students have to think differently, and we try to do this in a very short period of time. Typically 6 to 8 weeks, we try to make this change, and this change happens because of the way, the format in which what we call as the cohort is done. A cohort essentially has several teams. Each team will have 1 or 2 lead faculty or researcher, 3 to 4 entrepreneurs. They work together with mentors and instructors, and then you have many of these teams working together in a cohort. And it's usually a 6 to 8 week program. Lot of interactions, lot of what we call peer-to-peer learning happens. And over a period of 6 to 8 weeks, we see a transformation in what and how the faculty thinks about his or her own research. We also see a significant change in the confidence levels of the entrepreneurs or the students. And this change is permanent. So whether the idea works or not, that mindset change is a huge takeaway that every institution in India should feel very happy about. And it happens in such a short time of 6 to 8 weeks. And that change of mindset from an academic thinking faculty to an entrepreneurial thinking faculty, from a student who is looking to become a job seeker to a student that looks at how can I become a job provider, from a team that looks at research as a means to get journal publications, to actually solving a problem of value to the community or an industry or some other goal, is a big change that is very difficult to get, and particularly in such a short period of time. And that's exactly what GDC tries to accomplish.
The past 6 years, we've been able to conduct our programs touching close to about 75 institutions in the country. 50 of them are STEM institutions, universities and colleges. or 25 incubators across the country. So in a highly successful institution like IIT Madras, barely about 7 to 8% of the faculty really take up the research and then convert that into a product to reach the market really. Our objective that can we increase the percentage close to about 25%, where in many of the STEM universities, 25% of the faculty will take the research ideas to market. Thereby, you will see a genuine transformation taking place from academic institution thought process to a product and services to society. That's our desire as we go along. Out of the 50 odd STEM institutions we have touched base, we started off our journey with IIT Madras as our home ground, gradually expanded our activities to other IITs, Indian Institute of Science, and today we are able to reach to Tier 2, Tier 3 city-based educational institutions, make them excited about what we talk about, enroll their student teams in our programs, thereby they gain this knowledge and are able to convert their research ideas into solutions now. Our objective that can we move from this 50 educational institutions to 500 educational institutions as quickly as possible. That's the role we play in trying to reach out to these academic institutions, and thankfully the awareness about converting research ideas to meaningful products and solutions is dramatically improved in the past few years or so. We see more and more universities coming to us saying that can we do this program for them in person. So till today we have been conducting these programs through online platforms like Zoom, so that many students and teams can participate across the country. Now the post-COVID, many universities are reaching out to us to see whether we can conduct exclusive programs to them in their campuses. We are mulling out opportunities to conduct these type of programs. Our wish is that as we progress the next few years' time, we should be able to expand our program, which can touch universities across the country, touch more than 500 institutions, and see many student ideas, research ideas translating into solutions to the market.
I'll talk about three things how GDC has done. One is about the design, second is about how it is structured and where we draw the inspiration, third is the track record, and fourth, what we can actually do with young students and who want to kind of try out innovative ideas. So GDC is inspired by the National Science Foundation and its structure, what it has done for a program called the Innovation Core or I-Core. What the I-Core program does is it identifies that scientific talent in universities, which is faculty and researchers, they come out with a lot of good research, but that research doesn't find its way to the marketplace. And how is it that through support, through mentoring, through financial support, where commercial finance doesn't come in, can we help scientists of talent who are doing outstanding research bring that research and create impact in the marketplace? That has worked very well, and the founders of GDC, Dr. Deshpandey and Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, thought that this is a model that we can learn from and emulate in our country. So this was the challenge for GDC when we started 6 years back. We studied that model, we studied innovations that happen in countries like Israel, in Japan, in the UK, in Korea, and we felt that, look, there are many institutions in India which have very good research, world-class research, but for various reasons, these works of research don't find their way out into the market. Therefore, we designed programs drawing the inspiration from I-Core, but modifying it and tailoring it and customizing it significantly for the Indian context. What has happened now, when you see over the last 5 years, we have worked with over 75 institutions, STEM institutions and incubators across India, 300 plus startups, and the record has been very flattering for us. It has been much better than we envisaged. More than 65%, almost 2/3 of the startups that we work with have found a sweet spot, found an application for their innovations in the lab, and they have found a way to go to the marketplace. So our programs focus on three things in a period of 8 weeks as we work with them. One, we build what's called an entrepreneurial mindset. People who work in the lab in STEM colleges are exposed to science and technology are not really having that much familiarity with things like business acumen, organizational scaling, or even thinking about how entrepreneurs think and work. Entrepreneurs deal with failures all the time. They're not afraid to fail. And that's not something that technologists and scientists are comfortable with. So the first change in mindset is it's okay to fail. And small failures don't kind of derail you. So take these failures, learn from them, and move towards success. So that's a big change. When you move to the marketplace, you're moving out of your comfort zone in a lab or in a university. There you meet people who don't agree with you, who think very differently, who work on a different time scale, who have different likes and dislikes. So you have to get comfortable in dealing with them. The third thing that happens is, how do you scale organizations? When something works in the lab, then you build on your entrepreneurial skills, you build on your business acumen skills and make them work in the real marketplace. But to work with other partners and scale this to a business that reaches many is something that takes time. So our programs expose young entrepreneurs and seasoned faculty to these three skills and take them along. From our history of working for about 6 years now, we can say that this has stabilized, and we would now look to see how we can scale this further. The message for young entrepreneurs, wherever they are in the country, is look for GDC, look for how you can apply to these programs, come through your institute, and we can help you catapult several years ahead by learning the skills that you need to go to the market.